So whose idea, Daddy? A private prosecution. Whose idea was it? Whoever it was is on my side, not on yours. It's made me very happy, Daddy dear. But this is England. Had you forgotten that? You can't just walk in here and buy yourself a judge. Not in England. You've lost before you've begun. I'm going back to London now to have a celebration supper. You don't mind, do you, Daddy dear? I'll drink your health. In blood.
Switch off the light, please.
And Mr. Ronce's father was a great philanthropist. He built a magnificent hospital, way ahead of its time.
May we return to the case, Mr. Girton?
Yeah, I think it always helps to know the personal background, especially when the person in question is a millionaire.
The case, Mr. Girton.
Yes, of course, Mr. Ronce. Well, as I told you, the two men were convicted and sent to prison.
But at the trial, they maintained that Mr. Ronce's daughter had nothing to do with the theft of the Modigliani.
That is correct. They insisted that they'd planned the operation and carried it through without her knowledge or her assistance.
But I know differently.
Does that mean you withheld evidence?
Certainly not. Mr. Ronce told the police of his suspicions, showed them the evidence his chief security officer had collected, the torch, the walkie-talkie, the urn, the petrol, but the police decided that was insufficient.
Catherine also collected evidence.
Catherine tried to prove that her father was the mastermind behind the theft. Naturally, the police refused to take any action.
I think they were a little bewildered. Your English police are so, normal.
This new evidence that's come to light, the business partnership connecting your daughter with the two convicted men, have the police been told about it?
Of course.
And they were not impressed?
Well, they think that there's a private vendetta between my daughter and me, and they want no part of it. As far as they're concerned, the two men admitted stealing my Modigliani, and they swore that my daughter had nothing to do with it. The painting itself was recovered and is now back in my library.
Mr. Ronce mentioned a vendetta. It is, of course, entirely one-sided.
Don't mislead Miss Peterson, Mr. Gayton. My daughter and I keep up a constant running battle.
For which Catherine is responsible. I know you'll find this difficult to believe, Miss Peterson, but for some reason, Catherine appears to loathe her father. It's quite irrational.
And it's mutual.
With due respect, Mr. Ronce, I don't want Miss Peterson to think your conduct towards your daughter is anything but exemplary.
Miss Peterson isn't interested in your plea in mitigation.
It's just that I'm due in court in 30 minutes.
But we've hardly touched on the case.
You've had ample opportunity, Mr. Girton, over an hour.
I had to explain the background to you.
Would you like to make another appointment?
Mr. Ronce is a very busy man, Miss Peterson.
Does that mean you would prefer not to make another appointment?
Mr. Ronce is no ordinary client.
Well, you surely don't expect me to cancel a court appearance.
Then your clerk shouldn't have made the appointment.
I believe it was you who specified the day and the hour.
He should have made quite certain that you were available. Didn't the name Ronce mean anything to him?
It should have, Mr. Girton. You spent 20 minutes telling him. Thank you, gentlemen.
But this is preposterous.
How long will you be in court, Miss Peterson?
Until 4:30.
Will you be free then?
Yes, why?
With your permission, we'll wait for you.
What, here?
If we may.
Yes, you may.
Thank you. And now, please, you must not be late for your court appearance.
Yes? Who? Matthew? Do you know what time it is? What? Where are you? But no, hang on a second. I want to get the number. Yes, all right, go on. What? Yes, right. Yeah, put him on. Hello, yes. Hello, Constable, yes, that's right. Yes, now listen, my client's appeal against the Home Office decision has been submitted. Yes, I assure you, it was definitely sent in. What? Yeah, I know you have your orders, but they will be rescinded the moment I wake up a judge and get him to serve an injunction. Yes, which I will do now. Now, Constable. Yes, now. You just stay where you are, all right? Thank you. Oh, bloody hell.
Who was that?
Your husband.
Christ! I'm not married.
You weren't sure, were you?
You're mixing up your girlfriends, darling. You're not going to one of them now, are you?
No, it's a friend of mine being deported.
What for?
Elephant smuggling.
Why did he do it?
He was lonely.
What?
Oh, go to sleep.
Do you have to go?
Yeah. If I'm not back in half an hour, start without me.
Hello?
Frank Rance, good morning. Look, I simply wondered, it's such a beautiful day. Would you care to join me in the country for afternoon tea?
Well, we are involved in a private prosecution, Mr. Robbins.
Miss Peterson, I do assure you, the last thing I want to talk about is the case. Now, surely we can meet socially. Look, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll invite Mr. Girton and we can pretend that it's a conference. Now, how does that sound?
What about your daughter?
Well, there's no danger of bumping into my daughter, Miss Peterson. She's in Paris.
Well, I'm expecting a friend.
Would that be Dr. Moody? Dr. Ian Moody?
Yes, but how did you know?
Well, bring him along. Look, I'll leave you to arrange that while I contact Girton. Shall we say 3 o'clock?
Well,
My chauffeur will be there on the dot. We have the address. Thank you, Miss Peterson. Goodbye. Bring me the file on Dr. Moody, please.
Where did you meet him?
At Chambers?
How many times?
Once.
And he's invited you to tea?
Yes.
Why?
Perhaps he likes me.
You're not supposed to paint the glass.
You do it then.
What? These clothes?
He's invited you as well, and he doesn't even know you.
You could have said no.
Wasn't given the chance. Besides, I'm curious.
Oh, you go. I'll go home. I've got some work to do.
You're being broody, Moody. It might be fun.
And where does he live?
Wasn't given the chance to ask that either.
Oh, it's probably somewhere in the depths of Devon.
Well, that'll be nice. We can have clotted cream for tea.
What's he like, anyway?
For a millionaire, he's quite attractive.
Well, I suppose I might as well come.
The grounds are magnificent.
Thank you.
Don't you think so, Ian?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And your house is most impressive.
Are you glad you came?
I'd have preferred it if Mr. Girton had been present.
Well, I could hardly insist, Miss Peterson, not with a temperature of 103.
What's wrong with him?
Oh, an infection. Would you like some tea?
Thank you.
That will be all, Walter.
Thank you, sir.
Do you take milk?
Please.
So do I. What brought you to England, Mr. Rance?
I consider it the most civilized country in the world.
Doesn't it present problems from a business point of view?
All my interests are just a telephone call away. I believe you have a son, Miss Peterson.
How do you know that?
Someone must have told me.
What else were you told?
That you, like Dr. Moody and myself, are unattached.
You're divorced?
Twice over. I'm one decree absolute ahead of you. Oh, they both wanted to run the marriage as a business. Regretfully, they took out more than they put in, so both partnerships were dissolved.
I know the feeling.
I know you do. And how is Mr. Elliot?
You seem to know a great deal about us, Mr. Rance.
Oh, it's just that Mr. Elliot has stayed here once or twice as a weekend guest of my daughter. He's a very good barrister, I believe.
Yes, he is.
But unlike you, he will never make a judge.
I'm not even a QC yet.
Next time, perhaps.
What makes you think James won't make a judge?
Oh, he has a conscience. And it can never be eradicated. It goes back too far in time. Typical of the Celtic race.
I'm a Celt, Mr. Rance.
I know.
Is there anything you don't know?
Very little.
How do you do it, Mr. Rance?
With mirrors, Miss Peterson.
It's blatant discrimination.
It's the law.
It's bloody nonsense.
Possibly.
Why should he be deported just because he's Indian?
He is being deported because his time is up. Matthew, you knew perfectly well when you came here to study that you would have a maximum of 4 years before returning to your own country to do the job you trained for.
The taxpayers keep me at university for 4 years. I graduate, and just when I'm about to be of some use to the community, the establishment throws me out.
If he was English, they'd call it the brain drain. But as an alien, the Home Office is shoving him down it. No one will give him a job until it's definite he can stay.
And I can't stay unless I've got a
Yes,
job.
I know. Look, it didn't help matters, you being late sending in your appeal.
If he was Italian or French or German, he could stay forever. Just because he's Indian, we stand a good chance of spending the rest of our lives apart.
Right. If you married my sister, no problems. She'd be your responsibility. The state wouldn't bat an eyelid.
Why the difference? There's no sense in it.
Because as far as the establishment is concerned, women are still second-class citizens.
You and my sister could live happily ever after. But Jean marries me and gets deported.
Jean is not being deported.
Oh, no? I have a choice between my husband and a sick father.
How is he?
He won't get better. Just older.
I'll need medical evidence for the appeal.
I'm beginning to think there's no point.
Oh, come on. There's always a point and there's always a chance. All right. What other country would serve a deportation order on you, then let you telephone a barrister in the middle of the night, who in turn wakes up a judge in order to get an injunction to allow you to stay?
For a few more days?
Every little helps.
Oh, sorry.
No, don't go, Harriet. I'd like you to meet two friends of mine. This is Jean and Matthew Patel. Harriet Peterson.
How do you do?
Jean and I have known each other since I was that high.
Well, James was never that high. He was born 6'1" with a full command of the English language.
Pompous little brat.
Are you referring to me?
I thought he was confessing.
Matthew's helping to teach here.
Yes, provided James wins my appeal to stay.
Then I wish you both luck.
Well, we'd better be going. Jean?
See you at 8 then.
Yes, right, 8 o'clock, don't be late. You know the way out, don't
Yes, bye-bye.
you? Fine. Well then, Peterson, what can I do for you?
Ian and I had tea on Sunday with Frank Runce.
Really?
He said he knew you.
Yes, we've met once or twice.
What do you make of him?
Not much.
Why?
Well, can you think of any other father who'd go to all that expense and trouble to put his own daughter behind bars?
Yes, if she stole his £100,000 Modigliani.
Yes, if she did, but as I understand it, the painting belonged to her anyway.
Not according to her father.
Her father is a liar.
And his daughter?
He's a liar, too, which is hardly surprising considering the setup.
That's what I wanted to ask you about. What exactly is the setup? If they dislike each other so much, why on earth does the girl go on living there?
Money? Under the terms of her grandfather's will, she doesn't inherit until she is 25 years old, and only then on the condition that she's still living with her father at the time.
I take it her mother had no say in the matter.
Well, Mummy's interests were devoted to the more material side of the divorce settlement. Ronce got hold of the child as a bargaining weapon. As it turned out, his wife, the second, didn't actually waste much time bargaining.
I can't help feeling a bit sorry for the girl.
Don't bother. She learns everything she knows from her father, and he is really something. Do you know he has a dossier compiled on everyone he's interested in?
He said it was all done with mirrors.
You watch him, Harriet. He's a bastard.
He spoke very highly of you, too.
The car was traced to a Chelsea address where the police found the Modigliani. That was 3 days after the theft. And the painting wasn't returned to me until after the men had been convicted.
What is your relationship to the defendant?
She is my daughter by my second marriage.
Were you in the house the night of the burglary?
Yes. My chief security officer woke me at 4 a.m. He told me that my study had been broken into and my Modigliani stolen.
Had anything else been stolen?
No, just my Modigliani.
Was there anything else of value in the room?
Yes, silver, Bob J. Dar, and some other paintings.
What did you do?
Well, I went to see how they'd managed to get in. They disconnected the alarm system and removed a small pane of glass from one of the study windows.
Presumably you were asleep while this was happening.
Yes, in the bedroom next to my study.
Do you normally sleep there?
No, but I'd been working on a biography of my father, and I decided to sleep downstairs that night.
Are you a heavy sleeper?
Not usually, but that night I slept the sleep of the dead until my chief security officer woke me. Furthermore, I had a splitting headache.
You say you had a splitting headache. Had you been drinking?
Not alcohol. I never touch alcohol. But I did have a glass of milk. Catherine, my daughter, brought it to me.
24.
That's not 24.
Yes, it is. It's on a double.
Oh, yes.
Now, what's 24 and 13?
Move the top peg 1 place and the bottom peg 4 places.
Don't confuse me. I can't add up my score like that.
No wonder I always lose.
You always lose because of the limitations of your vocabulary.
You always win because of your bizarre mathematics.
Are you going to put down another word, or are you not?
I've been checking up on your Mr. Runce.
Oh, why?
Well, he's not the only one who can play at being the CIA.
What did you find out?
He's had plenty of women.
Surprise me.
Some of his money has been invested in the more murky side of big business. There's even a hint that he might be associated in some way with the mafia.
Oh, Ian.
No, it's true.
What about Watergate? He must be involved in Watergate. X-Y-S-T-E-R? Zister? What's that?
It's a word.
I know it's a word. What's it mean?
It's an instrument surgeons use for scraping bones.
I'll believe you. Millions wouldn't.
That's 34.
What?
The X is on a triple.
Oh.
And 12 makes 46 in all. Your Mr. Ronce is not liked.
Except apparently by women.
Well, it's only because he's a millionaire. And actually, like most millionaires, he's reputed to be very mean.
Methinks the doctor doth protest too much.
Lovely roses.
I wondered when you'd notice them.
Must have cost a packet.
Must have.
You didn't buy them?
No, they were a present from the mean millionaire.
Bit ostentatious, isn't it?
Yes, that's why I put the other 2 dozen in the bedroom.
Yeah, that's all for my spurs.
Then that makes you one of the hombres who tried to get me in the hill.
Hello, Dad.
And that makes you owe me an explanation.
You're
back early?
Have you been all right?
Oh, I'm fine. I've been watching the telly all afternoon. It's an old Fred Astaire film. Turn it off now, love. We can't talk through it.
Well, if you want to carry on watching, I don't mind.
No, I'm really not watching it anymore. Well, Matthew, how did you go on?
Oh, I think James knows what he's doing, Pop.
Aye, clever boy, he always was. Lucky for you, Jean's kept him with him, eh?
I suppose so. The more I see of English law, the more I understand why you need so many lawyers.
Matthew, love, don't start that again.
I'm not.
The law must be treated with proper respect, Matthew. Otherwise, where are we without the law? I told you. Didn't I tell you time and time again, get that application off in time. You can't treat these people casually.
These people? What about the way they're treating us?
Now who's starting?
Anyway, don't you worry, Dad. It's all in hand. We've got the right people on the job.
The famous James?
We're meeting James at 8 o'clock. Mrs. Thompson promised to be here by 7:15.
Don't worry about me. I'll be all right.
I'm sure you will. All the same, we're not leaving till she's here. I'll get your supper. Do you want anything, Matthew?
No, thanks. Not for me.
Smoke if you want, Matthew. Don't worry, it won't bother me. I'm feeling a lot better. I know you like a smoke.
Thanks, Pop. But I'm trying to give it up. You mustn't encourage me.
It's gonna be all right, isn't it, Matthew? I mean, honestly. Tell me honestly.
It'll be all right.
I wouldn't like to think, you know, I was a burden. I wouldn't like to think I were keeping you apart. She won't leave me, you know. She's a good daughter to me. She's all I've got. If you go, I wouldn't like to think I were keeping you away from one another.
Convicted men swore in the previous court, as they will swear in this court, that your daughter was not involved in the theft of the Modigliani, yet you continue to insist that she was.
Yes.
Your daughter will swear that she was neither an accessory before nor after the event.
She was not only an accessory, she masterminded the entire operation.
In your opinion?
There is the evidence.
Evidence the police considered insufficient. Tell me, do you love your daughter?
No.
If you had loved her, would you have brought this private prosecution against her?
Well, that is a hypothetical question.
Well, let us examine the so-called evidence against your daughter. Now, the 2 convicted men had been weekend guests of yours on 2 occasions.
They were my daughter's guests, not mine. On the second occasion, I wasn't even present.
Well, the 2 men will tell this court that on the second occasion they inspected your burglar alarm system and concluded it wasn't foolproof. So they decided, as a prank only, to return on a later occasion to prove it wasn't foolproof. This was the reason they broke into the house and borrowed the painting. but at no time did they take your daughter into their confidence.
It wasn't a prank. It was for real. And it was she who took them into her confidence. Whenever the discussion took place.
Were you present?
No, but a discussion definitely took place.
That is an opinion.
It is a fact.
Tell me, does being a millionaire give you certain privileges denied to us ordinary mortals?
Depends what the privilege is.
The privilege that when you express an opinion, it automatically becomes a fact.
A discussion took place. I know.
But you don't know.
I disagree.
Whether you disagree or not is irrelevant. We're not here to listen to your opinion. And opinion it is. Mr. Ritson?
My lord, now you say your daughter brought you a glass of milk.
Which was drugged. She'd put some sleeping powder in it.
Oh, you noticed the taste was different?
If I had, I wouldn't have drunk it.
Perhaps you noticed some powder at the bottom of the glass.
No.
Perhaps you had the residue analyzed.
No.
I rather get the impression that this is yet another of your opinions, Mr. Rons.
Mr. Patel, at the time of your marriage, did you have any reason to suppose that you only had a short time to remain in this country?
Technically, perhaps. But I had been led to believe that the terms of my residence permit were variable.
Variable on what grounds?
Well, for instance, that I had qualified here as a teacher and wished to offer my services in this country. I had understood that you had a shortage of teachers, especially in London.
So that when you married, you had already assumed there would be no objection to your remaining in this country?
Exactly.
If you had thought that you might be forced to return to India, would you still have asked your wife to marry you?
I was in love with her, of course, but there wouldn't have been much point if we were going to be separated.
Separated?
I couldn't ask her to abandon her father. Also, I knew that Jean had no wish to live in India. For one thing, the heat doesn't agree with her.
But you had discussed the possibility of returning to India?
In general terms, yes. But we had decided that it wasn't what either of us wanted.
It was not what you wanted, Mr. Patel?
Both of us.
But you're saying, aren't you, that you yourself had no wish to return to your own country?
I'm saying only that I would have preferred to remain here, to do here the job that I had been trained for, teaching.
So you wish to avoid returning to India?
Not avoid, no. But I did wish to remain in this country.
Is that why you married your wife, Mr. Patel? In the belief that by so doing you would guarantee your right to stay here?
Do you normally take Mr. Rons's nightly glass of milk?
Yes, ma'am.
But you did not do so that particular night?
No.
Why was that?
On my way to the study, Miss Catherine came out of the drawing room and said she'd take the milk into her father.
And did she?
Well, I didn't actually see her go into the study.
Why not?
She took the glass from me and made no movement at all.
She waited until you had gone?
Yes. At the door to the servants' hall, I turned and saw her watching me.
Thank you.
Who was it who removed the empty glass from the study?
I did.
When?
After the burglary, but before the police arrived.
Why did you remove it?
I saw the dirty glass and, well, it seemed a natural thing to do.
What did you do with the glass?
I washed it and polished it.
Where was Miss Catherine while you were doing this?
She was still in her bedroom.
When she came downstairs, did she ask you if you'd rinsed out the glass?
No.
Did she show any interest at all in what had happened to the glass?
Not to my knowledge.
Your parents are Indian by birth and by nationality?
Yes, but I was educated at an English school in Delhi. My parents have a great regard for the English way of life.
And you, Mr. Patel?
Essentially, I share their regard.
And yet, am I not right in saying that during your time here, you've involved yourself in several demonstrations attacking the British way of life?
I don't believe I've ever adopted any such attitude.
You have been active on a number of political issues. You have taken part in public demonstrations.
Oh, yes, but on very specific issues, not anti-British.
Would you care to give us some examples, Mr. Patel?
South Africa, for instance. I've opposed British sporting fixtures with South Africa. I've also protested against the supply of arms to the military junta in Chile. I've been involved in petitions for the...
Yes, thank you, Mr. Patel. I think we've established you possess an active political conscience.
I hope we have established that I do not possess an anti-British one.
Well, it was the light, you see.
Light?
The light from a torch. It was being switched on and off.
What time was this?
Well, it must have been about 2 o'clock.
It was rather late for you to be out, was it not, Mr. Linton?
Well, one of the local farmers had a cow calving, and I was helping him.
I see. Now, this light, from which direction did it come?
Well, it looked to me as if it was coming from an upstairs window. I remember thinking at the time, I wonder who's signalling to who.
Thank you, Mr. Linton.
Do you know how far the house is from the road?
Oh, it's quite a way.
The distance is 300 yards. And where were you when you saw these signals?
Oh, I was just passing the gates. After that, there's a high wall and you can't see nothing.
But you would agree that the house is partly obscured by trees.
Oh, well, you can still see the house through the trees.
Even at night?
Well, no, not at night.
Then how can you be so positive these signals came from an upstairs room?
Because it was coming from up high.
Well, one of the two men convicted of the theft is going to swear to this court that he climbed a tree in order to signal to his colleague.
Well, it was 300 yards away. I wouldn't like to call anyone a liar.
Mr. Patel, I suggest to you that from your first arrival in this country, it was never your intention to return to India.
That is not true. I came to the conclusion that I would prefer to stay only after some time.
What were your reasons for this decision?
The chief one was my wife, of course.
Is it not the truth, Mr. Patel? You found you could enjoy a better standard of life in this country, together with better working conditions, than in India.
I believe I've already informed the adjudicator that I did not marry my wife merely in order to stay in this country. I would be grateful if I did not have to return to the point again.
Perhaps you would, Mr. Patel. The fact remains it is central to the issue before the adjudicator.
All I see, Mr. Gore, is that it is central to the efforts of the British establishment to label me an alien and get me out.
The fact remains, Mr. Patel, you have no more rights than an alien by any definition of the law.
I take it you mean the law of 1969.
I do.
Since the rule of 1969, the Commonwealth husband of a British wife derives no right from his marriage to remain here. He is an alien. However, since this country's entry to the common market, the right has been granted to husbands from the European community. Now, the law of your country has many qualities, but consistency does not appear to be among them.
Nevertheless, Mr. Patel, the law is the law. And until it's changed, we must abide by it as it stands.
No, I wouldn't say you blew it, but heavy sarcasm at the law's expense is not a guarantee of success.
But it was my honest opinion.
All right, well, just remember that honest opinions will be taken down and may be used in evidence against you.
I bet they will.
That man as good as called him a liar.
Shall we win the appeal before we start worrying about his good name?
God, you lawyers are a cynical lot.
Will you just give it a rest, Matthew, huh?
What do you think, James? Is there a chance?
Yes, of course there's a chance, huh? I just wasn't too optimistic about that crack from Roberts. The law is the law is the law.
Make one exception and they'll all be in. Weybridge, teeming with the devils.
Look, it's a question of whether we can make out a better case of hardship than the others they have turned down. Did you get that letter from your doctor, Jean?
Yes.
We're going to need it.
Yes, I was duty officer that night.
What were your duties?
To patrol the house, both inside and out.
And did you fulfill your duties?
No.
Why was that?
I was with Miss Runce in her bedroom.
Who arranged this assignation?
Miss Runce?
And Miss Runce invited you to her bedroom?
Yes.
At what time?
1:30.
Did she know you were the duty officer that night?
Yes. I told her before we arranged to meet.
Does that mean she invited you to her bedroom after she heard you were the duty officer?
Well, yes.
Where is her bedroom situated?
Upstairs at the front of the house.
You entered her bedroom at 1:30 a.m.
Yes.
What time did you leave?
Shortly after 4.
Did you remain in the bedroom during that time?
Well, no.
You left the bedroom?
Yes.
For what purpose?
Well, Miss Runce has her own suite of rooms in the house. About 2 o'clock, she asked me to go through to her sitting room and open a bottle of champagne she had on ice there.
She asked you to go and get the champagne?
Yes.
How long were you out of the bedroom?
A few minutes. When I came back, she was closing the curtains.
Miss Runce was standing by the window?
Well, yes.
What happened then?
We drank the champagne, and after a while, we fell asleep.
You mean you fell asleep?
Well, yes. I can't speak for her.
You say you left shortly after 4 a.m.?
Yes.
You awoke at that time?
No, Miss Runce woke me. She said something was happening downstairs, said you could hear shouting.
In other words, you were asleep in Miss Runce's bed while the Modigliani painting was being stolen?
Yes.
And you were there at Miss Runce's invitation?
Yes.
Thank you.
Was this the first invitation you'd received from Miss Runce?
No.
There had been other occasions when you'd visited her bedroom.
Yes.
How many occasions?
Oh, 5 or 6.
But perhaps this was the first invitation you'd received on a night when you were duty officer?
No.
No. So nothing very sinister about that. Was this the first time you'd drunk champagne in the bedroom?
No.
Was it the first time you'd gone for the champagne?
No.
Now, you said she was standing by the window when you returned.
Yes, she was closing the curtains.
A breath of fresh air, perhaps? Was she holding a torch?
No.
Did you see a torch anywhere in the room?
No.
Thank you.
Mrs. Patel, how long is it since your mother died?
2.5 years.
And since that time you've cared for your father single-handed?
Yes.
Have you had any help, domestic or financial?
Oh, none at all. My father didn't qualify for an attendance allowance.
Would you mind telling us how you've managed financially?
On what remains of my parents' savings and the money I earn in my spare time as a typist.
But if you'd chosen to complete your course at university, was there anyone else who could have cared for your father?
No, we have no family.
And if you had qualified, you would by now be earning a substantial income.
Yes.
Meanwhile, your father would have become a burden on the state.
If that's how you want to put it.
Mrs. Patel, have you ever spent any length of time in a hot climate?
Never more than a few days.
Why is that?
I can't take the sun, not even in this country. It seems to dehydrate me and leaves me short of breath. And my skin burns very easily. I have to stay in the shade.
So how would you react to a climate such as you'd find in India?
I would suffer a great deal.
And so I checked the garbage can and found a flashlight and part of a two-way battery-operated walkie-talkie. It had a range of 25 yards.
Would the men have needed a walkie-talkie to communicate with each other?
Yes, but it's my belief that Miss Rance used the walkie-talkie.
We are not here to listen to your belief, Mr. Kelly. Only your evidence. Miss Peterson?
My lord, what happened the next day?
The next morning at 11 a.m. precisely, the telephone rang and Miss Rance picked up her bedroom receiver. Now, as Mr. Rance's chief security officer, part of my duties is to monitor all telephone calls. I heard a man at the other end say, "All quiet on the Western Front." Immediately, Miss Rance replaced her receiver, and the man who was calling her hung up as well.
What else did your inquiries reveal?
The two men, now serving 18 months in prison for stealing the Modigliani, were friends of Miss Rance, and the three of them had gone into commercial partnership. She had paid £15,000 into the company, and her two partners cannot withdraw this money without her permission.
Thank you.
Now, Mr. Kelly, were any fingerprints found on this walkie-talkie and this flashlight?
No, no fingerprints.
Were you able to trace the caller who said all quiet on the Western Front?
No, I was not.
Is this partnership in which Miss Rance is engaged a legitimate business activity?
Yes, as far as I know.
Did you inform the police of these American-style inquiries of yours?
I did. I gave them a 6-page memorandum and followed it up with a 2-page memorandum.
And what was their reaction to this multiplicity of memoranda you kept inflicting on them?
They decided there was insufficient evidence to charge Miss Rance.
I can well understand why.
Miss Peterson?
No re-examination.
And I will adjourn until 2.
Well, if it hadn't been for you, Miss Peterson, I think I would have fallen asleep. Your English court procedure is so elegantly boring.
It is somewhat less frenetic than yours.
Would you care to join me for lunch?
Thank you, but I have to get back to Chambers.
Perhaps dinner?
I have a prior engagement.
With Dr. Moody?
Yes, Mr. Rance, with Dr. Moody.
Where are you eating, Mr. Rance?
I'm not.
Oh.
And the verdict?
This afternoon, probably yours?
Likewise. You know, if there's any justice, it's not Matthew should be deported, it's Frank Rance.
And why hasn't he been?
He's not married to an English woman?
Not married to anyone at the moment.
No, still, all he has to do is whistle. His daughter's just the same.
And did you answer her whistle?
Yes, and he was carried from the field.
How come?
I got trampled on in the rush. Is Daddy whistling in your direction?
Beginning to puff out his cheeks.
Watch him, Harriet. He's a villain.
Hearsay, Mr. Elliot, hearsay.
But surely, Mrs. Patel, as a general rule, a wife should be prepared to accompany her husband wherever his work or other circumstances take him.
That depends.
On what?
Whether the wife has a career of her own.
Which, in your case, you have not.
No, but I do have the responsibility of a father. I'd have thought that was a fair alternative.
Are you suggesting that in some cases a husband should follow his wife?
On occasions, why not? You can't make rules for these things unless you're prepared to be unfair to somebody.
Would it not also be reasonable to suggest that husbands and wives should sometimes be prepared for periods of separation?
A period of separation is one thing. What you're proposing to do to us is quite another.
Very well, Mrs. Patel. Let's return to your specific case. At the moment, your husband is living with both yourself and your father.
Yes?
The flat belongs to your father?
Yes.
For how long has your husband been living with you both?
Since we married.
Does he pay you any rent?
Of course not. He's my husband.
But in view of the financial stress that you've already admitted yourself and your father to be under, do you consider this a reasonable arrangement?
Do I have to answer that question? I don't see that it's anybody else's business.
The facts of this case are not disputed. Mr. Patel lives with his wife and father-in-law, but as he's unable to get a job until the question of his residence in this country is settled, he's also obviously unable to make any contribution to the household expenses.
With respect, I am not attempting to pry unduly into Mr. and Mrs. Patel's private affairs. I am merely trying to establish Mrs. Patel's attitude towards marriage in general, and the various responsibilities of husbands and wives.
But these matters are secondary to the basic question, which is whether Mr. Patel is to be allowed to remain in this country to earn a living or not.
I rather agree with you, Mr. Elliot. If we could concentrate our attention on that part of the argument.
Of course. Mrs. Patel, you mentioned a while ago that one reason why you do not wish to accompany your husband to India is that the heat would have an adverse effect upon you.
That's right.
In what way would it?
I suffer from heat edema.
Would you tell us what that means?
Swelling of the feet and hands.
Is there to be a medical witness, Mr.
Mrs. Patel's family doctor hoped to be here in order to testify.
So why isn't he?
Well, unfortunately, he's away attending a medical conference. However, I have here his written report on Mrs. Patel's state of health. Would you be so kind? Thank you.
Your father is of the opinion that you put some kind of sleeping powder into his milk.
Has he any proof?
Not unless you care to admit the allegation.
Thank you, but I don't, because it doesn't happen to be true.
Now, did your father make any comment when you entered his study?
He looked up and said, "Good God, what have you brought me, a strychnine milkshake?"
Does he often accuse you of attempting to harm him?
I can be 3,000 miles away, but if anything goes wrong, you can be sure I'm responsible.
Would you say you had a normal relationship with your father?
If living with Attila the Hun is normal, it's normal.
Now, at 11 a.m. on the 15th, you answered the telephone.
Right. I heard a voice say, "All quiet on the Western Front," and so I put down the receiver.
Why?
Even though we're ex-directory, we still get cranks phoning us. I thought it was a crank.
Would it surprise you to have learnt that all the calls were being intercepted?
There's always someone listening in. It's usually my father. It's one of his more appealing hobbies. That's why I never dream of having a really private conversation over the phone.
Now, you've already told the court about this £15,000 you've invested in a concern in which you are a partner.
A sleeping partner?
Yes, now that the other two partners are in prison for having stolen the Modigliani, will you withdraw from the partnership?
I don't know. I might be prepared to give them a second chance.
But you did say, did you not, that as far as you are concerned, the Modigliani is morally yours?
Right. But if I want to forgive and forget, I'll forgive and forget.
Miss Runce, when was this partnership formed?
April 1973.
That was 1 month before your two partners stole the painting.
Right.
How much money did they put into the partnership?
Nothing. They were going to supply the ideas.
And where is your £15,000 investment at the moment?
Quietly gaining 12% gross interest in a little deposit account.
When did you decide to transfer the £15,000 to a deposit account?
About 4 months ago.
That was after your two partners had been convicted of the theft.
No point in having money if you don't make it work for you.
This money, will it remain on deposit for them?
Not for them, for the partnership.
Until they are released from prison?
Unless I change my mind.
Do you think you might change your mind?
I might.
Won't that upset your two partners?
It's my money.
Yes, Miss Runce. But I suggest it would have become their money on the successful completion of the theft.
Why should I pay someone £15,000 to steal my Modigliani?
In order to score over your father. Am I right?
Wrong.
I presume I would be right in saying that his dislike of you is equaled only by your dislike of him.
That I would agree with.
Just how strong is this feeling of animosity between you and your father?
It borders on the paranoiac.
Then why do you remain with him?
Because of my grandfather's will. I can't leave my father until I'm 25 without his permission. Neither can I marry. That is, if I want to collect my share of the inheritance.
Have you wanted to marry?
Twice. Twice he's refused to let me.
Even without that inheritance, you're not exactly poor, Miss Rons.
Thanks to my grandmother's will, no, I'm not exactly poor.
So you could have married?
Love isn't everything.
But hatred is?
Where my father is concerned, yes.
Was the Modigliani his favorite painting?
It became his favorite painting.
Became? Will you explain that, Miss Rons?
In my grandfather's will, he stipulated that I was to have a choice of any of his paintings when I became 21, provided my father didn't object.
And which did you choose?
My favorite, the Modigliani.
Did you make that choice because you knew it was your father's favorite painting?
It was my favorite painting, which then, surprise, surprise, became my father's favorite painting.
And he would not let you have it?
No.
Can you remember the date when you made your choice?
On my 21st birthday, January 29, 1972.
I have here a magazine dated October 1971. Your father was asked...
I never read the article.
Were you present in 1968 when your grandfather's will was read?
I was.
This is the exact wording. To my son, Frank, I leave all my paintings, including his favorite Modigliani.
I don't remember that. Maybe I switched off. Wills can be very boring.
2 separate witnesses have testified that the Modigliani was your father's favorite painting.
Bully for them.
But you swear you did not know.
If it'll help you, I'll swear it in 3 different languages.
Your father's chief security officer has said that he found a small urn in the boot of your car.
It was for the ashes of my cat.
It was for the ashes of your cat.
I'm a sentimentalist.
Also in the boot of your car was a gallon can of petrol.
So what? I always carry a spare can.
Can you remember when you purchased the urn and the petrol?
Yes, the day after my Modigliani was stolen.
I suggest the petrol was to be poured over the painting set alight, its ashes placed inside the urn, and the urn sent to your father as a birthday present. You don't find the suggestion monstrous?
Not at all. It appeals to my sense of humor.
You consider the burning of a masterpiece of art and its ashes placed inside an urn amusing?
If it really was my father's favorite painting, yes.
Why?
I'd give anything to see him broken.
Was he broken by the theft?
Yes.
Then you knew it was his favorite painting.
Not until after it was stolen.
Did you enjoy seeing him broken?
I couldn't sleep for laughing.
A beautiful and valuable painting, the painting you claimed to have been your favorite, had been stolen, and you couldn't sleep for laughing? I suggest, Miss Rons, you intended to burn that painting in order to cause your father further pain and suffering.
What about all the pain and suffering he's caused me over the years? Or doesn't that count?
The tribunal is being asked to vary an order of the Home Secretary on the grounds that it interferes with the domestic arrangements of a young married couple. I do not say that lightly, nor do I dismiss out of hand the possibility of some distress to that couple as a result of the law taking the normal course designed for it by Parliament. To every rule there are objections. Occasionally there must be exceptions. The question here is whether or not Mr. and Mrs. Patel's objections to the law constitutes a sufficiently strong case for us to make an exception to the basic rule. It is my submission we would not be justified in doing so.
Mr. Elliot?
Sir, the law, as you have pointed out, is the law and must be obeyed as it stands until it is changed. It is not our task to change the law, but to see that it is administered fairly, tempered with justice and with mercy. It is my submission that in this case the greatest suffering would be borne by Mrs. Patel, for if her husband has to leave this country according to the letter of the law, she will be forced to choose between accompanying him or remaining with her father. She will have to decide which of the 2 people she most deeply loves she must abandon. I would suggest that in this case we look beyond the letter of the law to its intention, and we ask ourselves, could it conceivably be the intention of this or of any civilized state to allow the tragedy which must follow from a rigid application of the law? I believe it is not. And I look to this tribunal to see that belief vindicated.
I've listened to both sides very carefully. Both Mr. Elliot and Mr. Gore have presented their respective views with clarity and concision. It's never easy to reach a decision which is going to affect the lives of the individuals who find themselves before this tribunal. And in this particular case, which we are considering today, I find it more than usually difficult. I might even say painful. However, I have reached my decision, and I will announce it now. I've been greatly impressed by the arguments put forward by Mr. Elliot as to the hardship that Mr. Patel's return to India would inflict one way and another upon his wife, and I greatly admire the sense of duty which she has shown and continues to show towards her invalid father. In view, therefore, of what I have seen and heard, I have decided to allow this appeal. The parties will receive a written record of my judgment in due course.
Harriet, I thought we might have dinner tonight if you're... Ooh. Aren't you taking money anymore? May I?
I don't think it'll suit you, James.
I wouldn't say that.
And you'll never get it over your head.
Ah, you noticed. Well, I won my appeal. How did you do?
She got 9 months.
Mm-hmm. Was Daddy pleased?
As a matter of fact, he didn't say very much.
No, he just popped that in the post.
Naturally, I'm sending it back.
Naturally. I'll send it back for you if you like.
No, thank you, James. I don't want to see it round the neck of one of your girlfriends.
Harriet, what a poor judge of character you are.
So is Mr. Runce.